Hi, I'm Corrine. Thank you for joining me today. I am using Close to My Heart's Aurora paper to create this layout. First, I am taking 2 pieces of 12 by 12 white daisy cardstock, and I'm using the stamp set from the deep blue that is also from our new catalog in Close to My Heart. I am using sage ink to stamp out the large fish in this stamp set randomly throughout, just kind of using my eyes to figure out where I want to place them. I am making sure that if I make a mistake like I did there, that I just go over it. Since our stamps are clear, I'm able to go over top. I've left it blank at the bottom because it's unnecessary to do it, because that's where the pattern paper is going to go. Next, I'm using the small fish from that same stamp set and charcoal ink and placing them in between and throughout where all the bigger fish are. Next, I am using 2 pieces of the Aurora paper that have been cut to 3 by 12 inches. I am using the stamp set of Aurora card making, and I'm using the camper from the set and using Versamark ink to stamp out the image and white embossing powder, and then heat setting it. I went to repeat the same process on the second piece. However, I grabbed the wrong stamp and started inking it when I realized that I had picked up the wrong one. So I thought I would leave it in there so you could see that we all make mistakes, but I caught it in time and I was able to stamp it with the correct one. And I repeated it using the white embossing powder and heat setting it as well. I think that on the pattern paper that the white embossing looks really sharp. So next what I did was I took those pieces that I had already stamped out and started adhering them using my permanent adhesive runner, making sure that I had the edges done so that they wouldn't come up. I placed it at the bottom of both pages of each one, and then I also had trimmed out some small pieces that were about 1/4 of an inch of the silver glitter paper and adhered that strip as well just at the top edge of this Aurora paper. Next, I had cut out with my Cricut from the Aurora Cricut collection that's only available from Close to My Heart the words wide open spaces, which I thought really suited this layout. I also adhered a little sliver of the silver glitter paper to it, giving it a little bit of a pop. Next, I set both layouts side by side and took my photos that I had previously matted off camera in an offset. I placed the cutouts that I had done on my Cricut using the Aurora Cricut collection and was just lining it up to see how I wanted it. I also laid down the journaling card that I had created on my Cricut. I will have a link in the bottom of my description that you can reuse to create your own journal from, as well as the cutouts that I used for this layout. As you can see, as I have the photos flipped over, you can see that I had not used a full square on the back to do the mat because I wanted to save on my paper. You also see on the back of the one mat that I actually had used to cut out the words wide open spaces, so I was actually really saving on the paper. To adhere the animals, I used adhesive dot runner. I find adhesive dot runner is a lot less messy to use, and I find it quick and easy to do. Because I glue on my all-purpose mat, the glue doesn't get on anything, and I use my adhesive eraser just to rub it off, and then it's a nice and clean way of doing it. Next, I did my journaling, and then I brought out my all-purpose mat again because I was using my ink and I didn't want to make a mess. So then I used the re-inker of Sage and put it in the lid of my ink pad and my water brush to color it in. I used eggplant re-inker in the ink pad lid as well to do the word Ontario and the map marker that is on the Ontario image. I took the journaling card, placed it on the layout, and decided that I wanted to add a little bit more to it. So I took a zip strip, and it was a little too thick for what I wanted, so I taped it down using some blue painter's tape to my paper trimmer and then cut it in half. I did get it jammed a bit, but I was left with enough to be able to do what I was trying to do. I took the zip strips and I was able to trim them down and adhere them to the journaling card using the adhesive runner. I did get my mat out again because I was using my adhesive runner and I knew I was going over the edge a bit, and so I wanted to make sure that I didn't get the glue anywhere else. So I was able to apply it to the top and the bottom, and I trimmed off the ends so that it looked nice and tidy. I think adding the zip strips to the top and the bottom really set it off and made it so that it stood out on the layout. So then I adhered that to the layout using my adhesive runner, and then I used my T-ruler to be able to line it up so that it was straight. I was quite happy with the results of this layout. I hope that you enjoyed looking at them as well, and maybe you learned something, maybe you didn't, but I appreciate you sharing your time with me and taking a look at what I made. My husband was quite happy to see it when I showed it to him, and I was quite pleased myself. I hope that you enjoyed my video. If you did, please like and subscribe. I really do appreciate you coming to visit and seeing this layout. I really did enjoy doing it. My favorite part was stamping out the background, and I hope that you might try it as well. Thank you for joining me. I have included 2 videos for you to be able to click on. Also, I will have those links in the description of where you can purchase these products that I have used, as well as the Cricut link so that you can go cut it out on your own Cricut. Thanks again, and I hope you have a great day.